Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Man, it's raining again. Alright. Now, I don't know how my playtime for this game on PC is so low, because I've definitely played this on PC before. And I didn't have any, saves either, so I don't know if maybe they just didn't transfer. Like, seems a bit weird. Nope. I want to order my 5x5 cube. I've got some gluten-free macaroons. I mean, it's still got a shitload of sugar in them, so. Oh, nice. Well, wait. Right. Man, it has been a while. Ooh, this game is pretty. Yeah, so on PC, I don't know if it was always like this, but yeah, look, like, you just, all this stuff is free. Like, you start out with, like, everything. Hazard suit. Wow, this game looks good. Like, holy crap. That's just the normal suit then. Yeah. You can get the security suit. It's my favorite. I don't know. It just seems like that's the one that had the most attention put into it, you know? Like, I think that suit... That helmet animation is just a thing of beauty. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Well, no. It's not what I wanted to hit with stasis. Ah, yeah, we're stupid. Couldn't remember if I'd muted my desktop. Thank you. I ain't falling for that shit. How's the game audio? I don't know if it's just these headphones, but it's a bit loud for me. Turn that down.
Tiedemann found you floating in space near Aegis 7 and brought you here for study.
Why can't I remember anything?
The marker you found imprinted your brain with a self-replicating signal. The longer you're awake, the more the signal spreads. It's killing you, Isaac. Tiedemann tried to keep it in check with memory suppressants.
You said you could fix it, right?
Only if you reach me in time. Tram station, get moving.
This might be one of the creepiest enemies in the game. Because it's just like a bunch of people, like, just amalgamated together somehow. Really, if you just want to max money, you'd just get the contact beam. That was one little trick that was a bit annoying. They kind of retroactively took that out of 3. Like, even if you don't want to use the contact beam, just buy it anyway, so the game starts dropping ammo for it, and then you can just sell the ammo. I'm pretty sure it sells for like 1,000 credits a bullet. I don't really need to upgrade anything yet because I've already got like all these good weapons for free. Like hurried death animation always looks really dodgy, doesn't it? Where they just like stick to the floor, like. Man, how good that suit looks though. Just look at the detail on it.
Drugs to make us forget, but it's all coming. Why are you
got contact beam energy? I think it was. Ah, the good old Ripper. Dude, that's disgusting. I still can't quite figure out, is the implication that there's, like, someone in there? Like, like, has someone trapped, like, one of the necromorph toddlers in there? Oh, wow, okay. Just tank through my Ripper, why don't you? God, man, a teddy bear. That actually does stun them, which is pretty funny. Man, those ones look so fucking gnarly, like the skinned ones. Gnarly, that's not a word you get to use very often. I think it pretty adequately describes this game, though. The things that you see in this game, pretty gnarly. Okay. God, even with, like, the big suit, I'm still full on inventory.
Everywhere. Is the entire sprawl infected? How this happened? The marker was destroyed, Dana. I destroyed it.
You destroyed a marker, Isaac. Tybin built another one.
On this station? Why?
It's powerful alien technology. Tybin wants that power. Get to the tram. It'll take you to the Cassini Tower's premises.
Dana? Damn it.
Look how beat up all the weapons look, dude. Is that a UT question me? Just seemed like the first half of a question about charging on a comment on YouTube, and I'm guessing, is that a UT question? No, hold this suitcase. Wow, okay. So that right there, that was $2 grand out of that guy. Man, that's really gonna break this game. These make a good noise. This is right at the start of the game, Jones. I've just made a save, like, after the intro bit, just because that bit is a bit... Like, when you just want to jump in and start playing, you know, I'm not always in the mood to play the intro, so I've just made a save, like, a little bit after that. I don't need that. Oh, come on. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I really don't know what happened to all my saves, though. I had hardcore mode and everything done on PC. Like, then again, on every platform I have Dead Space 2 on, I did everything. There was nothing in this game that I left unturned. I've got it on 360, PS3, PC, and I had, like, absolutely everything done on all 3 versions. And multiple playthroughs. Like, I played the shit out of this on 360. lost a shoe. Stop. This necromorph is not ready yet. Oh wait. I said. Who said that? Legs, son. I don't think so. The anti-air is too real right now. Okay, I'm trying to be clever. Man, it's getting a crazy amount of contact beam ammo here. Yeah, this is really going to make the game way too easy. Oh, man. I can use some ammo here, I guess. I think the only... I'm not sure if it's still the case, but at least on the 360 version, I think the only way to get the hacker suit is if you, is if you've played, the web comic, like the comic game they had on 360, like that weird comic one. The plasma cutter ammo situation. No. Remember rightly, I think that let you open, it let you do those in one less move, and I think. Did it? I want to say it might have, like, just removed power node doors. I can't remember. Oh, shit. Well, okay, cool. Seeing as you think you're some kind of wise guy, then, yeah. Have some of that. Fucker. At least I can burn some health packs now. Yeah, it's weird, unless you, oh, this is the security suit, Jones. This is my favourite suit. I just think this suit looks the best. Yeah, it's weird. Unless you play this game on Zealot, which is like its very hard mode, you always have too many items. Like, you're always having to, like, drop stuff and, like, make room for more shit. And if you know how to kind of cheese the game enough, you can kind of do the same thing on Zealot too. There's quite a lot of cheese in this game. Until I'm playing on PC. Console versions, like, just shit a brick when you do that. What the? Oh. You know, I've never actually used the assault rifle ever as my main gun. It just seems like it's just not the way to play the game. But it could be fun to use it. Oops. Pulse rifle. Is it called the pulse rifle? Yeah, I know it's good. It's just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like the way, like, you shouldn't play Dead Space and just, I kind of, in a weird way, like, I kind of wish it wasn't in the game. I feel like it just goes against, like, the idea of him just using tools and that more. The fact that they just gave you, like, a full-on assault rifle is a bit like, you know. Oh, you fucker. Uh-oh. That was close. god, yeah, you go through ammo that quick. Man, is that like the next level handicap run? Just like Zealot run, assault rifle only. It takes a lot of bullets to knock off.
Dana, I need a new route.
What happened? I thought we lost you.
Unscheduled stop. Where am I?
How did you end up there? Hang on. This won't be the most pleasant route, but it'll get you to the Cassini Towers residential sector. Damn it! Timon has the signal again. Keep moving.
It's that weird artifact going
You're
on.
very important to them, Isaac. Hold tight. I'll contact you soon.
Get rid of those. I wonder why they made the choice to change it. And the first game, every enemy didn't give you a drop, whereas in this game, if you hit a corpse before it disappears, like, it will always drop an item. And like, that's one of the ways in which I feel like you can really cheese certain parts of the game. Like, whenever you get the toddler enemies in vast numbers, if you just ripper them, like, you just spawn so much ammo and money, and it's kind of crazy. Yeah, he does. It's such a different game from 1, you know. Like, I love them both, but man, like, they really did make different styled games with both of these, you know. And you can pick up items like while shooting. Of course, like, normally you wouldn't have the Ripper here, but...
Isaac, you're still alive? We can't talk. I think they're tracking our signals. Are the memories coming back to you? They're coming back to me. The good ones.
That was almost 20 grand from contact being
The more I
out.
remember, the more my head hurts. I keep seeing the symbols. Do you see the symbols too, Isaac? In him.
I just thought, seeing as the pulse rifle is free, I don't really have to keep it with me.
Shit, Henry.
Ah, this looks so crisp. Oh, I should reload my... I forgot I used a bullet. Where are you going?
Hey, Dana, there's this crazy guy that keeps contacting me. I saw him back at the hospital.
Nolan Stross. He was a patient in the project.
I'm actually quite surprised I made that shot.
Why is he there? What does he want?
He's a psychopath, Isaac. Stay clear of him. He murdered his own wife.
We even
and
have
child.
time to have a sip of our tea.
Careful.
That same one 3 times in a row.
Dana, I thought you were routing me to residential. This looks like a unitology recruitment center. Am I still on
God,
track?
listen.
Yes. There's an old maintenance access point in there that'll take you through the waste disposal system and into the Cassini Towers. Stay sharp.
How'd you do the charge up move where you slash around in circles? The gleaming blade. The god move. Sound like they're just like randomly swearing to themselves. Hello. I never actually played it, but apparently the multiplayer was like pretty neat in this game. It was like Left 4 Dead style, I think. It was, you know, people versus the monsters. But, I don't know. It's one of those games where the single player was just so goddamn near perfect. Maybe perfect, I don't know. The multiplayer, I'm sure it probably was good, but just never... The single player never stopped being so good where I wanted to try it. I don't think I even played it across any version. I wonder if there's anyone still playing it. Usually, like, no matter how old the game is, someone is playing it somewhere. Spit. That's rude. It's weird. I don't know if there's another game that would like be so like well suited to it, but it's weird that no other game has taken like the dismemberment combat from Dead Space. It's so good. Like, it really what sets the game apart, you know? It's not just... Like, it's not just shoot the living piss out of everything. Especially on its highest mode, like, you really have to pick your shots. Like, you can't just burn ammo. That's where I came in. That's true, yeah. You know what's funny? Yeah, I suppose. There is that, yeah. There's NG2. I suppose NG2 and Dead Space came out in the same year, so unlikely that they were influenced by either one of them, but... I mean, in like a shooter, you know? Yeah, like, it's weird that no other game has done it. And it's so good. It's so good in this game. You don't actually get... Oh no, you actually do have to use the boost to get there. And talk about just perfect. The zero-G control is just absolutely perfect. Hello. Wow. The range. Yeah, they are. I do like the kind of the focus of the zero-G stuff in the first game, though. The way you have to just launch yourself, I think, is actually kind of cool. But yeah, the actual like flying controls, they're just so goddamn good. Even though this game wasn't underrated in a way, like it sold extremely well, it reviewed extremely well, I still do feel that this game does not get the credit it deserves. Nor does the first game either. I feel like the first game is thought of as like Resident Evil in space, which is, you know, not inaccurate, but I was like, man, it's so much more than that, though. You gotta wonder what the practical application of just having a circular saw blade spinning suspended in stasis is. Why would you ever need that? What's wrong with just a circular saw? The answer to that question, it makes for an awesome weapon. That's the only answer you need. That's it. You can tell someone probably thought, hey, I've got a great idea for a weapon, right? What if there was just a saw blade spinning in midair and you could, like, move it on an enemy? And someone probably said, yeah, but how does that make sense as a tool? And they're like, it doesn't, like, no one cares about that. How awesome would that be as a weapon? So, yeah, it would be. So put it in the game. And, like, you can shoot the saw blades out from it as well. Like, why would you ever do that?
Titan soldiers have found me. They're tracking me in some sort of gunship.
You're almost here. Hurry.
It's like, why would you ever need to do this in real life? Just shoot a saw blade at someone at, like, insanely high velocity. I love that noise. Like a horrifying sort of way. Like spit. Rude. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses there, mate. What are you doing? I think it was on one of the no upgrade videos I did like years ago for Dead Space 2. It's one of the few runs I actually did. And one of the comments that really surprised me was, man, I played through this game like 6 times or something, and I had no idea you could catch the acid they spit at you and like use it as a projectile. I thought, man, that would have made Zealot a lot harder. Because that's an instant kill on anything you hit with it. So, like, it's really cool to, like, grab that and, like, throw it at a bunch of other enemies, and then it'll kill them.
Timon, he's found you! Into the church, hurry!
Dana, the Church of Unitology?
This game really does go at a much faster pace, though, doesn't it? Chapter 4 already, and I've only been playing half an hour.
No, Dana, we shouldn't be in here. This is the last place we want to be right now.
Isaac! My brother died trying to rescue you. This is important. This will work. I'm in a safe room at the top of the church. Meet me there, okay?
You know, I just thought, it's only just occurred to me, but she's totally lying, isn't she? Like, that guy wasn't her brother. Makes sense, I guess, but I never actually put that together on my first run. Man, headphones really help on this game. You can just hear exactly where everything is. Yeah, man, I can't believe I never put that together. Like, yeah, she's totally full of shit. Like, that's just to guilt Isaac, isn't it? Like, there is no fucking way, like, that guy was your brother. You lying bitch. She gets her comeuppance, though. Isn't it crazy to think this game is this 2010 or 2011? I want to say 2010, but that sounds too... This game is not 10 years old, is it? No, I think it was 2011, I think, this game. No, it wasn't. No, I think it was 2010. Oh no, 2011. Oh yeah, that was it. It came out in January of 2011. It was like right at the start of 2011. So almost, this game's almost a decade old. Man. Huh. Man, that's... No. Don't spit. Oh, I didn't hit him. Well, I didn't hit him dead on. Thanks. Teamwork. I find it weird, like... I'd agree with that, Jones. I don't think the 360 generation has been beat. I don't think this honestly, I don't think this generation even comes close, actually, so far. The amount of games that we got from last gen that are just still... that are still just kind of better. Like has there been an action horror game that's even come close to Dead Space 1 and 2 this generation? I don't think so. I really don't. Has there been an action game that's come close to NG2? No. Like, definitely not. Has there been a shooter as good as Halo 3? I would say no. It's weird. I think that's why it seems weird that, like, you've got 360 era games now that are coming up on like a decade old, and it sounds so strange. You know, like this game was on the 360. That was a while ago now. Legs. Okay, chairs. Chairs are killing me. Ow. Yeah, I know what you mean, Jones. It definitely seems like they are going for a more is more approach, you know? It's like, The Last of Us 2 is out next week, and, well, I'm looking forward to it. I feel like that game, it's almost a prediction, I guess. I can say it now, and then maybe hopefully I'll be proved wrong. But I feel like that game is really going to lean heavily into, like, two angles. The first one being, like, look how raw this is. You know, like, the violence is going to be like, look how brutal this is. Like, doesn't this make you feel uncomfortable? Because it's in such good definition. And the second is going to be, this is all happening to a woman. Like, kind of like how they did with Tomb Raider in the first Tomb Raider, a little bit too much. They really lean into, like, this is a woman and she's being beaten up and stabbed and she's bleeding. This is so real and isn't this gritty? You know? I feel like that's the two biggest things that I really hope The Last of Us 2 doesn't lean into, because the first game didn't do that. The first game never once was like, yo, this is happening to you and like a young child. Isn't this so terrible? This is so grim, man. It didn't do that. It didn't need to. Whereas I feel like the second one is really going to be like, you know, look how horrible this murder is. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, you don't have to, like, I don't need that. Like, you know, use some goddamn subtlety, you know? It's one of the very few complaints. Well, not complaints, but, like, kind of, if they'd have dialed this game back just a little bit, like, you know, because, like, Dead Space 1, again, was pretty... Dead Space 1 didn't, like, ram it in your face, whereas this game kind of does a little bit, you know? But we'll see. It's out a week tomorrow, so... we'll sell that. I don't know why I'm getting ammo for guns I don't have. Yeah, look at all these weapons you get, man. Crazy. This is on Survivalist. Probably should have just played on Zealot, really. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. I've got a decent amount of faith in Naughty Dog, but we'll see. I really feel like they're gonna do. It's weird, like, you know, I feel like they're gonna do exactly what they had the sense not to do in the first game, and I feel like that's really gonna. If they're not careful, I feel like they could really kind of taint The Last of Us. Like, if that sequel is shit, you're gonna have this game that came out in 2013 that I really feel like was a watershed moment for games, and then the sequel is just gonna be like, ugh, you guys just shouldn't have bothered. You should have just left this where it was. It didn't need a follow-up. I hope I'm wrong. I really, genuinely hope I'm wrong. But you know, if I wasn't privy to things that otherwise I wouldn't know, I wouldn't be this pessimistic, I guess. Well, not pessimistic, just concerned is the lack of a better word. This game's dark. I feel like that was an era for that. Like, they like, was it Splinter Cell Conviction? Like, really nailed, like, man, we can do proper darkness now, and then every game's just hella dark. So, in the strangest way, though, I feel like that game doesn't stand a chance. Like, that game's not gonna have, like, a fair critique from, like, most people. Because I feel like most people, like, aren't gonna be able to separate, like, the spoilers and, like, the vitriol associated with that versus, like, just like, review the game you're playing. Like, that, all that shit doesn't matter, really. It doesn't mean shit. You know? What matters is the game good? That's it, really. Where are they? Oh yeah, it's fucked. It's I've changed my mind over the last year or so. I kind of think it's Days Are Numbered. I really do. I think, like, a company or something, like, just getting by on that now, like, I don't think it's viable, you know?
Isaac, I don't think I can open now.
It's just, like, it's such a crowded space, and, like, you know, getting that information is so easy. You know, the idea that you need to go to GameSpot or like IGN or like an equivalent to get the information. And their stuff is so clickbaity now, you know? It's so clickbaity and provocative, like, because it has to be. You know? It has to be. Like, nuanced writing doesn't get clicks anymore. You can't write like a... You can't write like a 6-7 page deep dive into a topic, you know, thousands of words, and have people read that. But you can write something like, you know, why misogyny is ruining the gaming industry, and like that'll get like tons of clicks. You know? And then, like, you can write an article, you can have a headline like that, and it can be full of absolute garbage and no real information, and people will call it good journalism. Like, what? Like, I don't know, man. I haven't looked at sites in a while, but like any time like they do pop up like what's on, like, you know, like the few that are left, it's like, oh man, it's like no wonder like no one is going to your website like when you post crap like this. Even though you have the ammo, I just resent how many bullets they take. Like, the fact they take a shot each. Oh, the burn marks on the bodies, too, you know. Yeah, it's funny, I remember when, like, YouTube stuff first started popping up. But I feel like that's a weird full circle, really. I feel like the YouTube stuff and, like, the more independent stuff started to be a certain way that was actually different, whereas now I feel like in some ways they're even worse, which is crazy. I mentioned it a while ago, but like if I want to know like technical information, for example, like does a game work day one, I'll go to like an IGN review or something. Because I know I can go there and, like, the first paragraph of the review isn't going to be, like, well, the reason this game is, this, and this, which I, like, has nothing to do with the game. And it's so weird how, like, that's almost gone full circle, you know? It's mad. Like, I have zero interest in their input on, like, their perception. Like, I'm interested in, like, does this game work? Yes. Okay, cool. I'll get it then. And there's just so many people doing it now. You know, there is so many people doing it. The few sites that are left, I think, you know, you've only really got like the kind of the bastions of it left. You know, you think like IGN's still around, GameSpot's still around. I only really count those two now that I think about it. Like Polygon is a fucking shit show. Kotaku's Kotaku's always been a shit show, but even more now. What else is there? Like, Giant Bomb was never really that kind of site anyway. Giant Bomb has really kind of become more of like a... I don't want to say influencer site, because that sounds like I'm kind of dogging it, but it really has. Like, think of it this way. Like, if someone wanted to do Giant Bomb now, they'd start a YouTube channel and a Twitch page. Like, that's how you do Giant Bomb now. The only reason it's a website is because they started in 2008, when YouTube was crap and Twitch didn't exist. So, if you had a bunch of people right now, let's say you had like a group of like 4 buddies and you all loved games, and you had overlapping interests, and you thought, right, you know, I want to do like some kind of online, you know, like editorial, like entertainment thing. Basically what Giant Bomb is. You'd think, okay, well, like, you know, let's get like a studio or something set up, or an office, and, you know, start making videos and start streaming. Because people ain't reading text anymore. Ow, I forgot about you. How's your legs? Just hit me. That was weird. Look at this guy, just chilling. Yeah, like, no one fucking reads anymore. What I was saying about, like, articles, like, why articles have gone away. People just don't need to read anymore. All people need to do now is read a headline, and they know everything. That's kind of the problem. You know, people don't read articles anymore. People read headlines. They read tweets. And that's all. And it makes people look really fucking dumb. Like, really fucking stupid. You know? When you get people making these, like, sweeping statements and all they've done is literally read a tweet. They've read, like, 100 characters on a subject and they're an instant expert. And they open their mouth and you're like, like, you really should not... Like, you really should have clued yourself in before you, commented on this subject. And like, likewise, it seems like people... They double down whenever they fuck up instead of just being like, yeah, like, you know, I kind of spoke without really knowing all the facts and my bad. You know, now people can say something like really fucking stupid and people can point out like, yo, this is really fucking stupid. And like, show them in black and white why it's really dumb. And they're like, oh, no, man. According to you, no, fuck you. You're like, then they'll just go like, you're just something to like deflect attention. You know? What's up, Mike? More video reviews, replace written reviews. Yeah, I mean, but like, look how video reviews are though. Like, I think it's only really the big places that are still doing like the typical video reviews, isn't it? And even written reviews, like, I know Giant Bomb were like one of the last places to still be doing written reviews. Even they don't do them that much anymore. Because people just don't... and also, you don't really need them. You don't. If you want to know how a game plays, like, you could... You know, you could just go on YouTube or Twitch and see it in action. You know? It's a shame because I feel like, you know, there is definitely something to admire in like a very, very well articulated and written review, but the idea that you still need them, like, nah, like, you don't really. Like, look at this game right now. I'm playing Dead Space 2. Someone could go and read a review of this, and they'd get, you know, a lot of information, or they could watch me play it for like 20 minutes. And they'd get a pretty good idea whether or not it's a game they want to play or not. You know, you couldn't do that like 10 years ago. Not with like the ease and consistency that you can do now. Like, you could have always gone on YouTube and like found a video or something, but you know, people take it very seriously now. You know, like doing this, like, you know, it's a career. You know, if you really want to put in the time and go all out, you can go into this like with the aim of doing that. So it's different industry now, very, very different. Look at all the shit they put behind you, because they know like people don't. So many people just don't turn around or like look up or down in games. They just go forward. Oh yeah. Yep. I mean, times have changed. I'd say that's the more accurate way to say it. It's weird, isn't it, man? It's so strange, and you have to wonder like what's gonna, because let's be real, you know, the odds of it like going back, not gonna happen. Not unless something, you know, drastic happens, or I don't know. I feel like you know, that seed has just been planted and it's just like, that's it. I'm not sure that, I don't know, are we at that point where like I think video games are enough of a thing where the people that know, or even the people that want to know a little bit, they know. You know? That's why, my roommate said she might play Dead Space 1. Not on stream, but she'll give it a go. Oh, shit. Sometimes, man, I don't know if it's just me, but, like, the aiming seems, like, really off on that. It seems like your crosshair just goes right through it. And that's why it's really interesting to get a perspective from someone who has, like, never ever played a game. And I think the reason, like, that's appealing is because it's so rare now, you know? It's so rare for someone to have just never played a video game. Ever, you know? Money, money, money. Ow. Give me all your items. That was kind of nuts. the toddler ones, yeah. I don't really mind them. Like, they're basically just like item pickups. That's how I think of them. Shot that guy's head off with the same bullet. Alright, where's the, There you are. I need more item space. Yeah, like I don't I don't know that many people. My roommate is like the only one, you know, that I'm in regular contact with that's never played games. And I think as well, with the kind of as time just goes on. I mentioned this a couple of streams ago, I think. But now we're getting to a point where you know, we're getting to, like, you know, the 9th generation. Generations is kind of whatever, but you know what I mean. You know, we're getting to a point now where, like, you have this weird perspective of people like me who have played games for almost 30 years, or over 30 years, you know. Like, you have 30 years experience, so it's... And with, like, the weird part of, like, games in general just getting, like, a lot easier and more about spectacle and, you know, the not really pushing people to think as much as they used to. You know, games nowadays, like, it's, they're almost like, what's the word? It's almost like you're just along for the ride, you know? I haven't forgot about you, mate. Come on. Come on. Well, I forgot about you, eh? I didn't. I don't need that. I'm trying to think when you next get a suit upgrade for inventory. Don't need that. I need more item spaces. What's up here? That emote, man. That's funny.
You're a hematologist.
Hold up.
Of course you are.
Okay, we'll play till about 8 o'clock, and then I'll get some guide work done for NG2, and then we'll watch the PS5 event, and we'll see how good it is. Ah, my hair's getting long. I am really tempted to just grow my hair out again. I've not had long hair for like 16 years.
You did build it.
Talking about.
Well, that's why we brought you here.
I suppose this is true. A couple of days ago I got gifted...
convergence to the entire
Sure.
galaxy.
Sure. We believe you, VHS. We believe you, man. It's cool.
Give me the fucking cure and let me go.
We believe you.
I cure you, Isaac.
You know, there's nothing wrong with enjoying, you know, some booty.
Just the way it is.
It's fine. Everybody loves booty. Everybody. Men, women.
Now would
Everyone
you
loves it.
escort Isaac to the shuttle?
Booty is the new boobs. And everybody loves boobs. Women love boobs, men love boobs. It's fine. What's that one? That's what you get for lying, bitch. I never actually noticed how wide his eyes go just then. I just thought, right, supposedly he's being pulled out, right? He's got his thrusters. Okay, I still find that really weird, man. I really do. Like, but again, is that because of like when, you know, is that because of the generation I grew up? You know, to me, the idea of like people being hooked on, you know, like whether it's you know, gender's not really doesn't really matter. Like, to me, like being hooked on that and like just seeing nothing in an era where like just a cornucopia of porn is just at your fingertips 24 hours a day for free. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't get that. Like, I cannot get. I don't get it. You know, if that's your bread and butter, then you know there's better sandwich shops, if you know what I'm saying. My roommate probably thinks like, what the fuck is he talking about? But yeah, I do not understand that. You know? Man, okay, but okay. I'm not saying this might happen, but if it does, I want you to know that I called it, right? Is that what is going to be like the next logical step for like modern porn stars? Are they just all going to like start streaming on Twitch? Like once they get fed up, or like just, let's be real, you know, too old to do it anymore? Is that their next logical step? That they're just gonna they're all just gonna start streaming on Twitch?
It's in the government sector.
You know?
Now, because time is running out for me and for us.
Strauss!
Are there?
Strauss, where you going?
Adriana. Oh. Okay. Well, it shows how much I know then, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not surprised. But then that kind of goes in the flip side, doesn't it? If someone who is doing that right now is also streaming, that makes no sense, because the Subway sandwich with the fucking good shit is already there for you to see. Why are you what? It's a strange world we live in, isn't it, man? Strange times are right now. Strange to let me Google. It's a strange world, man. Crazy. Yeah, it's funny, I didn't even know what that word meant until like a couple of weeks ago. Because I asked my roommate about that, actually. I said, oh, do you know what this means? And she was like, no. And I said, yeah, like, neither did I until someone mentioned it in Twitch. And I said, like, it was really weird because it's used more often than not in, like, the online sort of, for lack of a better word, like, nerd culture, like, as an insult. And it's, like, outside of that... What's the word? Outside of that sort of discourse, like, being nice to women, like, being gentleman, chivalry. Like, chivalry's dead, man. If you're chivalrous, you're a fucking simp. Like, what the fuck happened?
When you do, he starts.
What's going on?
Who? Who comes back? Who?
Crazy. I tell you.
Look at you. Grown up so much. Where are you going?
Strauss
That's
don't
true.
follow. He's not really there.
VHS, yeah. It's very true. People want them White Knight points, man. They want them so bad that I don't know. I can't think of a follow-up to that. They want them, you know. They're hot property right now. Protect your feet. What? I was gonna say, I did not shoot him in the gut. Right, so that would have been bullshit. Alright, now we get loads of the bloody cello guys here, don't we? What happened to his body? The fact that they thought you would do that, like shooting off the arm, and then and then like firing it in slow motion at them. Okay. I feel like that's one of the craziest. Maybe they did know, but like indirect buffs they gave you in this game is that stasis packs stack in your inventory. Like in Dead Space 1, one stasis pack takes up one slot. Whereas in this you can hold 3 in one slot. That's kind of nuts. Oh wait. Well, I'm clever. Who said that? Who lit all these candles? Seriously. Who had time to light all these candles? Oh no. Wait, isn't that an empty item slot? It really does, yeah. It's the PS5 reveal, I believe, isn't it? At 9 o'clock. Let me drop off some shit. I'm not sure if it's the actual console. I've intentionally stayed somewhat dark on it because I want to be surprised. I just want to see what it is, really. Man, look the amount of money I have right now is just insane. So that doesn't get you the discount, though. Wait, isn't that a clear game suit? I really hope we do see the console. Like, let's be real. If that console is coming out in, like, 4 to 5 months' time, like, they have to have them already made, right? They have to. Like, they can't be like, oh yeah, the first one isn't off the line yet. We don't have one. Then again, that said, I'm so, like, over, like, when people get hyped over seeing consoles, it's like, it's probably going to be a black box of some shape with a disk drive in it and some USB ports on it. Like, you know, I don't really think they're going to, like, reinvent the wheel with the shape of their console, you know? It's probably going to be a black box, or a grey box, or a white box. Yeah, I really hope they show gameplay too, but I doubt it. Let's just be real. Like, we're probably not going to see gameplay. It'd be so cool if we did, though. But then again, like, what games are we gonna see? if they did show gameplay, like what would we see? Like what in all likelihood, what would be ready for them to show? Maybe Horizon 2? Maybe. I think Guerrilla have got their shit together, and I think it's pretty safe to say they've probably been working on that like since the first game wrapped. So that's had like a good 3 years in development. So maybe there's maybe there is something to show for Horizon at this point. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's, what was it? Is it Godfall they were showing? Can't go back up here. I did not know you could do that. There's no need to be back up here. No. Yeah, what else could they show? Like, maybe GTA? Maybe they'll just bust out GTA 6 and be like, yo, here it is. Although, let's be, like, that's going to be cross-platform. That's also kind of taking out a lot of the wind in the sails of these games, because I guess we just kind of know that so many of them are going to be cross-gen, because it just makes more sense for it to be that way, you know? There's like 100 million PS4s out there. Even if they only sell... Even if only like 5% of people buy the PS4 version, that's still a lot of money for Sony. So... Probably should remake. Oh, man. I mean, you're probably right, but... We can hope not, right? We can hope that doesn't happen. Hopefully we'll actually get some, like, new games. Oh, man, can you imagine if they do that, though? Imagine if instead of Horizon 2, they're just like, hey, here's the PC version of Horizon running on a PlayStation 5. You're like, oh, man, no. The only thing that I would be totally fine with on that is if on like the Xbox X event, they're like, hey look, here's NGO4 with the Hurricane packs running on the Xbox X. I'm like, yeah, best game ever. They might announce, I mean, a new God of War is coming, let's be real. They might announce it, but yeah, I agree. I don't think we'd see gameplay. Probably a cinematic trailer.
Strauss, calm down. He can't hurt you.
He wants me to go into the Dark Machine, Isaac. I can't go. She's in there. She's waiting for me.
Strauss.
Oh God, oh God, oh God.
Strauss, listen to me. You need to keep moving. Can you get to the train? Can you do that?
He's coming. Can't talk.
Just even the reticle in this game. Like, look at that. The way it moves. Just FYI for anyone, I won't actually be restreaming it just in case that's not allowed. So, it will just be me watching it. So, you guys can see my reactions in real time. To them probably being like, the PlayStation 5, we wanted to do something new for the players. You know? Well, that wasn't very nice. Like, we wanted to do something new. Now, look at this first-person shooter in this driving game. We wanted to do something revolutionary. Now, look at this third-person open-world game. Okay. We wanted to break the mold. So look at this RPG. Okay. Microsoft come out and they're like, we wanted to really reinvent the system. So we finally took away the fucking AA batteries. Be quiet. I love that noise. Oh man, it's so good. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock UK time. Yeah. In generic shooter, it's all about the experience. That was one thing where does anybody guys remember Bulletstorm? The marketing for Bulletstorm at the time was so fucking good. Oh, it was so good. If anyone's not looked that up, like, just YouTube it. It was fucking great. That was when just the modern military first-person shooter was just fucking dominating the entire industry. Everything wanted to be Call of Duty, you know. Everything wanted a piece of the Call of Duty pie. Everything. And then they came out with Bulletstorm, and the marketing was just fucking awesome. It was so good. And that's what got me to buy that game, honestly. Like, the fact that you got, like, guaranteed access to the Gears 3 beta was just, honestly, icing on the cake. The fact that their marketing was like, yeah, we made a first-person shooter that's got a quadruple-barreled shotgun and you can blow guys up and, like, shoot them in the fucking dick. It's like, cool. I'll play that. Like, you know, like, you had me at quadruple-barreled shotgun, to be honest. Like, you could have just stopped right there. But
Step 1, crawl into the dark machine.
You know?
Step 2, the screws go tight.
Yeah, Bulletstorm is great. That's on my revisit list. I have a feeling that game has aged very, very well, because shooters aren't like that anymore. Like that's a shooter that has like actual mechanics. It's not just, you know, what most shooters are these days. Is he supposed to be Australian? It's pretty obvious I'm not a necromorph.
Stay back.
You know?
You want to talk?
It's definitely a playable game. Amazing scoring system.
The last person who said
Just
that tried
saying.
to kill me.
That Bulletstorm on its highest mode for score,
Yeah, you got that right. You try it,
I approve.
and you're dead.
You know, that's the one thing that I feel like's missing from Vanquish. Like, Vanquish has a scoring system, but it's, like, kind of shit, let's be real. If Vanquish had, like, a combo system or something, or just something to make the score, like, just
Ellie,
more interesting,
what do you want?
it'd just be, I mean, it already is kind of a perfect game. Oh yeah, I forgot, I'm playing this on PC.
Get to the government sector.
I love games where you can just use the mouse and controller, like, at the same time. Why don't all games do that?
You. Besides, we got a better chance if we stick together. Don't you agree?
It's not a chance, Isaac. Other people are just a liability. I'll release the door lock. But after that, you're on your own.
It's funny how some of these games, like, certain bits just look real rough. Like, her hair looks like shit, for example.
Wait.
Okay. Fuck your statue. Whoops. I just burn a stasis pack. These bits are like, God, these bits are so stressful. On like your hard, if you ever play hardcore. Fortunately, I've played through hardcore a few times, and they have never killed me. I guess because they're just ingrained in your memory where they are, but they've never actually took me out on hardcore. Man, this really does break the game, having all this shit early on. Just buy a load of power nodes. There we go. Man, I really want to finish that. It's, I do feel like that game is really just limping. Never mind limping, like that game is crawling. Like, struggling for breath across the finish line. Really feels like it's one of those games that should have ended, like, about 3 hours before. Oh! Forgot about you two. Right, in the gentleman's area. Oh, I remember now as well. There's also other doors you can go through with that hacker suit. Now, this bit doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? Like, she just seemed like a person. You know, she wasn't crazy, and it's like, dude, like, I don't think you want that baby near you. You know? It's funny, I do want to replay through Isolation, just because so much time in that game on your first playthrough is, like, just figuring out where to go. You know, like, my total game time on that is probably definitely like double digits hours, and yet I feel like on a replay, like, I'd probably beat it in like 5-6 hours max, because so much of it, like, there were several sections where for like half an hour or more, like, I just had no idea where to go. You know, it's funny. Would people freak out about this now? Like, I never noticed that. Is that like the timeout corner? Why is the teacher in the timeout corner? What happened here? He must have been a garbage teacher. You taught these kids nothing. Yeah, it's weird that, Jones, because certain survival horror games I think are like insanely replayable. Like the original Resident Evils, I can play them over and over and over and over again. I just can. Even though they're not scary, but it's just, I don't know, there's something about them. Same with Dead Space. Like, I can just play it over and over and over and over and over. Dead Space is more mechanically satisfying, for sure, but still. What's the ammo situation here? I've got a lot, really. Is that where I set the guy on fire and just laugh maniacally to myself? That's funny. It was just so great because that's the thing that, you know, they normally never ever let you do in a game, ever. Like, they wouldn't even let you fire the gun in that situation, you know? That's twice now that's not killed something. That's weird. But the fact that they just let you, like, nah, fuck it, just kill him if you want. Like, it fails your game, but they don't take away your freedom. Your freedom to be a dick. People place a very high value on that. Which is ironic. Ooh. That was totally locked. Yeah, can you imagine if this... I don't know, I feel like if this game came out now and they had, like, the babies, and I feel like people would freak out. You can see the Polygon articles now, can't you? Dead Space 2 endorses horrific child murder. And in the very first line, it would be like... Now, in Dead Space 2, there are child enemies. We're not saying that the game promotes... like violence to demonic babies, even though the headline would literally say what I just said, you know. It's like Dead Space 2 puts you in the shoes of a horrific child murdering protagonist, and then they'd be like, Dead Space 2 is a survival horror game that is set where like crazy necromorphs have been taken over the space station. That's the level we've got to now of you know, how crazy your headlines have to be. That's how you get people to read. Put out like the most outlandish shit possible, so people click your article. That's true. I feel like a game's replayability is like so dependent on its first like half an hour. It's why, even though I really like Dead Space 3, the first like 40 minutes of that game are just so not what I want in a Dead Space game that I struggle to go back to it. It's why I don't replay Arkham Asylum very often, or Arkham City, because the start of the game is just so boring, you know? It's a solid like half an hour of, well, you know, here's how you walk, and here's what the A button does, and here is drama. It's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm Batman. I want to punch people in the dick and get high scores. That's what I'm here for. You know?
But if he does anything stupid, anything,
same with Dead Space 3.
I will shoot him.
The opening is like, oh man, Isaac, he's a broken man. He's so emotional, man. This is a grab. Can you feel the weight of this situation? You're like, no, I am here to dismember monsters and have fun. I'm not here to have all this bullshit. You gotta have a strong start. That's one thing where I think RE2, the RE2 remake, fucking nails it. The RE2 remake just throws you right in. Whereas the RE3 remake, I'll probably only play that game once. I've seen the opening to that game, and it's like a glorified 40-minute cutscene. It's like, okay, great. I have no interest in playing that, like, more than once.
Hello, Isaac. Well, this brings up bad memories. I barely managed to escape the CEC facility this morning.
What's the plasma cutter ammo situation?
Heavy equipment pilot, class 4.
Not great.
You?
Engineer.
Nerd. Figures.
It's funny how dated that line is. It's crazy to say that, but it really is funny how dated that is. It's like, later in the game, the fact that you're an engineer is quite literally the reason you survive, and like her first instinct is to like just like give you a dig. At the end of the game, it would have been funny if like right now it's like, oh, I'm an engineer. It's like, yeah, I've got an engineer suit on, bitch. Oh man, decompression, that's too bad. Fuck you. Like, that must suck that you can't breathe. I'm an engineer. I've got an engineer suit. I'm fine. I don't give a fuck about you. See, it's a good job Isaac is more. You know, it's a good job Isaac is more level-headed. You know. It's a 40-minute cutscene to pad the game because it's so fucking short. Damn. I mean, you're not wrong. Hello there, good sir. How's your arm? How's your other arm? You might say this guy's harmless.
Isaac, are you alright? I think that's all of them, for now.
I'll give you guys a minute to recover from that joke, because it was so funny.
Why did Tiedemann turn off the power? What did you do to piss him off so much?
Ellie, do you know what a marker is?
Yeah. The unitologist on my crew wouldn't shut up about it. Why? Is it real?
Yeah, it's real. Tiedemann made one using codes, patterns stored in our heads, mine and Strauss. Everything that's happening on this station is happening because of that marker. I have to get to it and destroy it, and I need Strauss to tell me how.
I actually looked at that.
You're a strange man, Isaac.
You know, I swear you can't read them as well on the 360
We're
version.
about to suffocate, so I think I'm better.
Okay, good. Listen,
No
we need
boom
power.
shock.
Without it, we have no air and no train. Sprawl's gotta have backup batteries somewhere.
Come on, man.
Yes. The
Oh,
solar
what time
array's
is
up
it?
there.
Okay.
But they've been mothballed for years.
I'll get some guide work done on NG2. Man, the NG2 forum.
Get some power to the train.
I'll tell you what, man. I might actually do a video for
I
that,
can do that.
just to kind of let people know when it's done, because there's going to be a lot of shit on there. In a way, it's kind of a good thing that the difficulties are so similar, because it makes making the guides a lot shorter. It's a lot less work for me. The more I think about it, though, like, I'm doing this Master Ninja run now, and throughout this run, a Master Ninja walkthrough was, like, by far the most requested thing when I put up that video, like, seeing what people would want to see. So, like, Master Ninja walkthrough is definitely next. And it's really making me... Because I think, I can't remember where I saw it, but there was a topic going around, it might have been on the forum, actually, about doing a no-save run. And someone mentioned about doing a 100% speedrun of NG2, single segment. And it seemed like the general consensus was like, well, that will never fucking happen. And I thought, yeah, I can see why people would say that. Like, the amount of things that can just fucking delete your life bar in that game are insane. But, like, the more I'm playing it now, I'm thinking, like, I don't know. Like, I think it is actually possible. And not just possible, like, I think there is a significant amount of cheese in that game that people aren't realizing. So we'll see. Maybe I might give that a go. That'll probably be just a weekend thing I try, maybe for fun. I'm not. Like, I wouldn't play. Like, you know, you wouldn't be playing for karma or anything. You'd just be trying to get through the game. But, like, don't skip any fights. Like, you've got to do all the Test of Valors. Like, I think that might be what puts people off, is doing the Test of Valors, because, like, I mean, they're not easy, you know. They are pretty brutal on Master Ninja. I like how they stick in the wall. That's true, VHS. That's a very good point. But I feel like people have not put anywhere near the time into NG2 on Master Ninja for, at least in my opinion, like, for the kind of the consensus that game kind of has, you know. I feel like people make very, very, like, bold claims about that game without really knowing too much about it, you know. Yeah, I mean, this game's massively exploitable. I mean, I've been doing it this whole run. Like, you know, I bought the contact beam to get contact beam ammo. I have 21 grand there in contact beam ammo. If I didn't have the contact beam, I wouldn't have that much money. But I do, so I'm gonna use it. To be fair, like, I kind of agree, Jones. Like, they're not that much fun to play regularly. For me, the fun in the Tests of Valors is figuring out how to fight, like, figuring out how to do them safely. Because the only videos that I've seen out there at the moment, people burn through, like, an entire item reserve to get through one Test of Valor. And I think, yo, they're hard, yeah, but, like, they're not that bad. Like, you know, there are ways to play these and have them not be, like, that draining on your resources. But as I said, people haven't really played NG2 to the degree that people have played, you know, Black. So, you know, it's just not that, they're not that explored. Like, for example, the stuff I found on hoverbots and marionettes just from doing Test of Valor 4 is crazy. It's crazy powerful, like, the things I found doing that run. But it's because I went into it with the idea of, like, okay, can I do this no items, no info? Like, is this possible? Test of Valor 4, I actually don't think it is. Like, it's fucked. I really don't think you can do that challenge without healing. It's just... Look how fast that saved. Shoutouts to SSDs, man. Like, that, you didn't even see that. Like, you literally didn't even see it. Do I wish to overwrite? Yes. Like, that's it. It's done. There's no loading. We're now saving your game. It's like, boom. It's just, that's it. Oh, man. Cool. God. I play this game all night. I kind of feel like you need the arena to be that big, though. To be honest, Jones, honestly. On Master Ninja, if that arena was smaller, like... Ooh, like... Yeah, I actually feel like you need the arena to be that size. I really do. Checking memory card and memory cards. Man, we got some shit weather this week, man. I'm telling you. Really shit weather. Alright, guys. I'm going to work on some NG2 stuff. I might even knock out the Test of Valor 5 real quick, because it's not a difficult one. And I'm going to work on some guide stuff. And I'll be back just before 9 to watch the PlayStation thing. It's only supposed to be about an hour long, so I'll still be able to get a nice early night and be a good boy. So I'll catch you guys in about an hour. Take care. Peace.